You're listening to Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official podcast of Lingerie Fighting Championships. And now, here's your host, Michael Larkin.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today for round 2 on the LFC podcast is the one and only muscle MILF herself, Miss Susan K. Susan, it's a pleasure and privilege as always. How are you?
Hey, doing really good. Glad to be here, like always.
Thank you. First and foremost, I got to say right now, the last time we spoke, you got your pro card, you were doing your thing, but this time around, we have you in the LFC Madness, and you got an LFC Madness 4 to round 2. You defeated Sarah Sterling in the first round, and then unfortunately, you lost to Victoria Cat, who became one of the runner-ups for LFC Madness 4, but you had a hell of a run and a hell of an opportunity in this LFC Madness. I wanted to ask you about your experience in being a part of this virtual bracket tournament.
I did. I was really excited actually because I've never never done this before, and so wasn't quite sure exactly how it worked, and it was exciting. I kind of want to go back to the drawing board though, and then put some more up to date pics and vids, and I think actually that might help.
Well, I got to say, first and foremost, as we know, folks, guys, if you check out the LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship YouTube channel, we get to do a lot of recap shows with myself and Coach Leon Hader. So for those who have not seen the review, put you over very highly, muscles upon muscles upon muscles. I know he definitely would love to see you on the black team in the future.
Yeah, you know what? That was a lot of fun to watch. You guys were so fun, and and hit a lot of good topics in regards to what was going on and everything, and how people might see someone like me in the lingerie wrestling arena. So it was definitely good stuff.
Well, I got to say, you're training in your own right. I wanted to ask you about that as well, because we see you training, we see you on the mat, we see you doing your thing. You are really coming upon the upper echelon, so to speak, of your wrestling training. It's still onward and upward for you, but you're killing it, man. I love seeing your progress.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been really good so far this year, and so I'm really looking forward to really moving forward.
I mean, I look at it from a stance too as well. What's interesting too is with a woman of your, I'm going to say right now, first and foremost, you're a specimen, Miss Susan K. And it's a good, when I say it's a good thing, because I mean, one of those things that's an imposing force, and everybody has that gravitational pull with their character. And I think everyone is the representation of their presentation. So I think it's a hand in glove thing. But when it comes to sessions wrestling and what you're doing in the adult work and what you're going to do future wise with the LFC, I think it's a perfect fit, man. You're hitting all varieties and hitting everything. So, I mean, it works. It hits on cylinders, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely am like you said, trying to hit different areas, and I think I'm doing a good job of it. And as I'm going, and looking forward to see how this is going to end up.
Right. And I'm going to say right now, folks, if you've not checked this woman out, whether it be on OnlyFans or just in your adult stuff, that stuff is really, I'm going to say right now, there's a lot of different variety you could do with scenes and a lot of your content. But one of the things I love about you too is it's fun, it's very vibrant, and it showcases your personality and your character to the multitudes, if you will. So the adult work on that side of things as well. And you're really looking forward to getting more into that. And I think what's great about that too is it's an art form. People say what they will about it, but it's one of those things where it's something for everyone and people love it. People can gravitate towards it.
You know what? I totally agree with you. It all depends on how you look at it. Obviously, I do see it as like an art form. I enjoy it, and it's part of life. And there's a lot of different reasons why people go into the adult industry and participating or, viewing. But I'm really excited because I just recently just recently made an adjustment to where now I'm doing it full time. So that's just happened within the last, 3 weeks. So I'm really excited, been meeting a lot of good people, and just been kind of trying to take it all in as I'm moving forward.
I mean, what I love about it too is, and first and foremost, as a young man in his teens, I mean, it's sex sells, number one, and number two, it's sex appeal. I mean, you see late night stuff, whether it be of adult content, whether it be on like an HBO or Cinemax. It's not like we haven't seen this from the test of time, if you say the history of the adult entertainment and content. But with platforms like OnlyFans, many vids, I know Pornhub's out there, and so many of that, it's something for everyone, and it's a content creation standpoint. And we really should not be viewing it as something that's like taboo, because we moved up sort of, kind of, if you will, as a society. I mean, there's still going to be some ignorant people out there, but if you really look at it for what it actually is, as we talked about, it's an art form, but it's just another content creation. At the end of the day, it's a job where you accumulate money. So, I mean, if you're providing for yourself, boom, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I've about this before. It's not like I have to do this. Right. Again, I do have I do come from the medical field with physical therapy assistant. So I do have a degree, and I did have my own business in regards to that. But I chose to do the adult industry, and I haven't regretted it at all.
I look at it from a stance too as well. And me, I love giving people the platform to tell their story with these shows, and as much as yourself, Miss Susan K. I always find it fascinating because with people's, like you talk about, I know you being the physical therapy and you really knowing about the medical field and really wanting to help people in that venture. But also look at it, what's cool about it is too, like I interviewed someone who was a lawyer, got into the adult entertainment industry, someone who's fought for our country gets into the adult entertainment industry. You're expanding your horizons. And at the end of the day, if you got it, flaunt it, as the old saying goes. But if you really want to exude and accentuate that internal, external beauty and sex appeal, why not? We see it in today's society. We see it in movies and popular culture. We see it in music, whether it be in music videos. It's something that hasn't, never gone away, but also at the same time, it's the gravitational pull, like we mentioned, but it's something that really encompasses a lot of beauty and a lot of confidence, and dare I say, a lot of empowerment.
Definitely. And especially nowadays, things have changed. There's so much variety, and that's a good thing because, again, I think we talked about this before, where it used to be dictated to us in regards to what producers decided what everyone's going to see. Now the middleman's out of the works. And so there is a lot of fetishes, a lot of kinks, a lot of different variations that covers for everybody.
Right. And I think what's cool about it too is, as well, and I'll equate sessions wrestling to it, it's also very empowering, much like the lingerie fighting championships as well, but it also provides, like with sessions, there's different fetish modeling, there's modeling with LFC, there's different art forms, there's different crafts. And I'm going to say right now, when it comes to sessions and the overall professionalism that you all have with your clientels, who doesn't love a good, whether it be foot fetish? Who doesn't love a body scissors? Who doesn't love a leg scissor? There is something for everyone that really showcases our uniqueness and our preferences. And we talked about there being something for everyone. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say right now, it's a goddess thing. It's a worship thing. And I'm going to say sometimes we got to worship some beautiful muscles in the overall forefront, Miss Susan K.
Yes, and even in the wrestling, there's a lot of variations of different types of wrestlers that you have. You have people like me who has a lot of muscles on me. You have others that are in between. Some you wouldn't even guess that they were a wrestler until they got out there in the arena, and then you're like, wow, she's a monster. So again, you're seeing a different variations of wrestlers coming together, and to show what they're made out of, and I think that's great.
You got to mean head scissors, by the way. For those who've not seen her wrestling show, she's got to mean head scissors, and you got to mean body scissors on you, man. I wouldn't want to be near that. You know what I'm saying? You're killing it on that. I got to put that over.
Oh, that's my favorite position because I just have full control. Once I get you in a head scissor, it's pretty much over for you after that. I'll just go ahead and choke you out or put you on the ground.
It's the thighs, man. I mean, it's the power. It's the thighs. That's really all I can say. It's the thighs. It's the legs. It's just you as an overall whole from the waist down. It's one of those things where I'm going to say you're like the watermelon, the proverbial watermelon. You just squish the head, just boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did they just have that not too long ago? I think I saw a video on it.
Yes. Yeah. Courtney Olsen just did that not too long ago for her. Yep.
Yes, she looked amazing. It was great.
That's the thing too, and we'll get into women's athletes on fire here now, because I'm going to say right now, we always put her over, we always talk about her, the beautiful Jennifer Thomas, aka Jenny Bloody Valentine to the LFC fans. What are your thoughts on this Women's Athletes on Fire? I know you're going to be in attendance in Chi-Town come this Friday, Chicago, Illinois. How excited are you, Miss Susan K?
I am really excited because, again, Chicago was just like New York. It was I love big cities. So I cannot wait to get down there as well and get to see that and all the wonderful people. And Jennifer is just amazing that she has come up with something for all of us athletic women to come together and join together. We're so strong as one. We don't see women against women, even though it is, but it's still a special bonding that all of us have together.
The best way I could put it for those who have not seen a Women's Athletes on Fire event or are unfamiliar with it, think of it like back in the day when we had Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling in the 80s, where you had Hollywood and Vine and so many beautiful women of that, and including the one that we see now with Netflix, the overall interpretation of Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's like that because Glow in its own right was very empowering. We got to see a lot of dominant women in that promotion.
Yeah. I'm really excited because there's just a bunch of sexy women together, and it ends up being a wild night. It's great.
So for those who are unfamiliar with the card, so far we have on the card main evented by Sheena the Hungarian Hurricane Bathory of LFC in the Sessions World against Courtney Olsen. We have MJ Domino taking on Tyler Dare. We have Betty Brickhouse against Feisty Feminista. We have Clever Brave and Lady Justice. We have Hans Vanderkill and Emma Switch. We have Angelica Ko coming all the way from Italy against the Tampered Physique. My goodness gracious, man. From top to bottom, it's a stacked card full of beautiful women from the sessions industry and the LFC world, everything coinciding, and the bodybuilding world in their own right. So, I mean, it's going to work very swimmingly for everyone involved.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. I feel like we have all the superstars under one roof. So it's definitely going to be really exciting to be part of there.
I got to say, and this word gets flaunted around, and it's very apropos with women like yourself. Y'all got that goddess mentality. And the reason why I put that goddess mentality is we could see it in an imagery. We could see it how you carry yourselves. We could see it in the confidence, the swag. We'll be here all day with the overall puns. But at the end of the day, it's something that a lot of people, we talk again, gravitational pull, but that goddess vibe, man, y'all, and I always believe this, all women are queens. Y'all got that like royalty and goddess type vibes about you. So it does make for a hell of a time and hell of a content for a lot of people to view.
Definitely. And, I think what that so-called goddess that you see is just women who are very secure with themselves in their athletic physique, doing what they love. And when you love what you do, it just shines through, and I think that's what you guys see. Again, it's like that glow that you see.
Beautifully said. I got to say, y'all got that. I'm going to say this right now because we talk about that glow. Y'all got that light about you, folks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's that light that shines in through this smile on that face that is the muscle milf Susan K. That shines in on Jennifer Thomas and so many great women and Women's Athletes on Fire. And speaking of stuff that shines through, you just put out a very empowering and very light and very glow post on Instagram in regards to women like Alicia Young and women like that. I got to ask you about that because you talked about the modeling agencies and how that perceived look is. I want to ask you about that post because that was very empowering and I got to give you a lot of kudos on that. I really did. Well, that touched my heart.
Thank you. Like I was, I was approached by one of the modeling agencies in regards to like, hey, we've heard about you. This is what we want to do with you. And so I was really excited because I always had Lisa Cross and Alicia Young as what I thought is very, very appealing, very sexy in a muscular physique. And so as we were discussing more and more about, what was planned, then all of a sudden pictures is like, well, we have this, and then, we have this and this girl and this girl, and none of them were female bodybuilders. I never want to put anyone down, but I'm sorry, for me, if you're not a female bodybuilder, if you are not up there with the female bodybuilder class, I don't see bikini or figure as female bodybuilders. That is not a bodybuilder. That's my personal opinion. That's how I see it. I think the majority of people go back to old school as what is female bodybuilding, so I was really upset and said, you don't get it. I'm not here to look like a fitness model. That is not what I want to be. And so that's when I realized the world is still in their one-dimensional look, as everyone has to look like this. And it's ridiculous, you know? And so I said, no, I don't want to work with a modeling agency that's going to make me look like a fitness model. I'm not a fitness model. I am a proud female bodybuilder, and I want to continue on that route.
First of all, I admire your strength and I admire your admirability, because it's a very admirable quality here, Susan. And I'll equate it to wrestling here, because we talked about wrestling here on the show. Look at women like Trish Stratus and look at women like Victoria. And the reason why I picked those two names is because before they were in the WWE, they were fitness models. And mind you, Trish Stratus and Victoria are beautiful women. But I, like you said, the old school mentality, I look at women like yourself. I look at women like Alicia Young, bodybuilders to the T. And we talked about the muscles upon muscles upon muscles. But there's a certain image there that's crafted. And mind you, love Trish Stratus and Victoria, but I never considered them bodybuilding boom. You know what I'm saying? It's a modeling fitness type of thing. And I can agree with your sentiments on that. And you're not putting anybody down, but at the end of the day, I see where you're coming from, and I think a lot of people can see your overall mindset on that particular post.
Yes, definitely. Yes, thanks. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're very welcome. I gotta say, folks, if you're not following this woman right here, you'll see a lot of empowering and strong posts. And also, but I'm gonna say right now, a little bit of a sexy post in there as well. A little sexiness all around, curves the word, spins the verb. You have two great pages, and we'll plug them at the end. But you got one here, boom, bada bang, bodybuilding, and the other one you got wrestling and adult work. It's the variety we talked about, but I gotta say, you separate them very well, and it showcases a lot with your accounts for a lot of people to follow. So I gotta give you kudos on the social media front.
Well, thank you. Definitely. And especially because I did need to separate them, because not everybody is into kinks and fetishes, and they don't want to see that side of me. But then there's the other side, because everyone knows that I am in the process of becoming a pro dom. That is a big fetish in my lifestyle as well. And so, you know, if you're not familiar with that lifestyle, then it's going to be very odd, you know. And so I don't want to chase everyone away, but I also want to be able to address what makes up me, what makes Susan K. And I'm really, really lucky to have a variety of what makes me who I am. So I thought the best thing to do is to separate the accounts accordingly.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I do it myself with my personal account and my show's account, because you get to see me do what I do here. But then here's Mike with the personal side. I think a lot of us can do that. And I think a lot of people can tie in and correlate with that. But also at the same time, I look at it from a stance too, you pro dom, man, with your whips, change, your ball and gags. I'm going to say right now, first time I ever heard about Dom was on MTV in True Life back in the day, when people were talking about dominatrixes and mistresses and blah, yada, yada. I've always been very interested in that, and I'll tell you why, because it's also very uniqueness for a lot of people, and I think it's also something that's very, very popular in the overall field of fetishes and overall work as that. So, I mean, dominatrixes and domination has been around since the test of time. I think a lot of people gravitate towards it because they like the submissive side of things, and also, who doesn't want a beautiful woman like yourself doing your thing? So, I mean, it works all in all and hand in hand, if you will.
Well, thank you. And what I love about it is I belong to the Sanctuary Studios in Los Angeles, California. They've been around for many, many years. They have amazing pro doms that I'm learning from. But it's a skill. And what people don't realize is you see a lot of people trying to mimic a dom that are not doing it properly, and they don't realize the skill that is behind it. I mean, we deal with very knives and blades and all sorts of things, but we want everyone to come out safe. It's not let's just slice and dice and send you on your way. And what the biggest thing about that is with I love is the mental aspect behind it. I wish people would take the time to see what is the mental aspect on some of these people, on why they like what they like or why they don't like what they like. You know, it goes back into the adult world. We are so cut and dry on what the society thinks we what we should like as adults. They dictate what we should look like, what we should enjoy, and it's time to break all of that, you know. And that goes back to the wrestling. It's like, let's break that mold of what people think is sexy. And so they just all, to me, they just all go hand in hand.
Oh, agreed. And I'm going to say this right now. I think we always view like the adult world and stuff like that as like black and white. We could equate this to life anyway, but there's gray areas, and a lot of people don't want to focus on the gray areas because everything has to be this way or that way. But it's like, no, once you get into one psyche, if you will, like you're talking about the mental aspect, this is why they like it. This is what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. And again, it doesn't like hinder them as a person. It's just something that they like. It's not going to be for everybody. Everything in this world and everything in life is subjective. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you like it or you don't make fun of somebody because they like it and you don't. Just go with it, enjoy it. And if you don't like it, then kick rocks and do your thing, you know?
Definitely agree. Again, it's going back to just being, you know, respectful for other people's views. Exactly.
So I'm going to say this, Miss Muscles upon Muscles upon Muscles. One thing on the LFC side.
You know what? You can really say that all day, and I just love it.
Well, it's not wrong. And I mean, for those, and I'll put the link in the description, go back and watch Leon and our hilarity covering the LFC Madness tournament.
It was good.
Thank you. But the thing too is when you have muscles upon muscles upon muscles, number one, you would be the first muscle MILF in the history of LFC because we've never had a muscle MILF. We've had a honey punch, we've had a rattlesnake, we've had an El Toro, we've had Jenny with Bloody the Valentine, we've had the Hungarian Hurricane, we've had a Feisty Fist, we've had so many, but we've never had a muscle MILF. So you would be the first muscle MILF in LFC history. And number two, yes, and number two, to add on to that, Miss Susan K, if Leon gets you on the black team, you'd be on the same team as Jenny.
Well, you broke up just a second ago. What was that last sentence?
Sure, let me repeat that last part. I said if you're on Leon's team, you would be on the same team as Jenny.
Oh, that would be really nice. And that is why, you know, it took me a while to figure out going into the wrestling world is not the easiest. It's not like, okay, I decided to get up and go and here I am, you know. So I'm learning a lot as I'm trying to break through into the wrestling world. I have a lot of respect for the women who have been doing it. And so, yeah, I can't wait for the day that I'm going to be in that arena as well.
Now, I'm going to say this right now. LFC is going to be back, folks, in August. Dates are going to be announced. But I got to say, man, in Las Vegas, man, I hope to see you in August in Las Vegas to attend the LFC event. Get yourself an up-close personal view of what you can expect in the future for Lingerie Fighting Championships.
Yes, we are going to be there. Yes, when you told me about that, I'm like, I'm going to be there. There's no doubt about that. So everyone put that on the calendar.
I will say, well, I'll say this right now. People, if you're a prospect or if you're someone who has that interest in LFC, first and foremost, go and see it for yourself. And I think that's the best way to see the live action if it's something that you want to do, or just inquire about it on all social medias. Either way, you're doing the right thing, man. You're getting your name out there and you want to be involved and see the action. And you get to see a hell of a time for whether it be an hour and a half, 2 hours, what have you, that LFC shows are produced, because it's 7 great matches and it's great fun. And like I was telling you, when it comes to LFC, it's the character, it's the entrance, the representation of your presentation, and the in-ring work. So it's a variety, man. And I can see have that representation and presentation of your character with your down work and stuff. So you're amplifying yourself, Susan K.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm on the right track. Very nice.
You are. And I got to give you kudos. And I got to ask you about New York here, because as someone who's from Long Island, New York, I know you were doing your thing in New York City. We were talking about you like the big city and how fun. How'd you do? What you going around doing your sessions, getting some food? How was the travel like in New York City?
Oh my goodness, it was amazing. Thank goodness I had Carmen, who's also with Session Girls. She just happened to be touring the same time as me, and she recognized me when we were getting dinner, and so she introduced herself. And thank goodness she just happened to be my little mother hen. I've never been in a big city. I've never been on train. I've never been on a subway. I've never even really been on a real traveling bus, you know. So it was all new to me. I was a little bit nervous. And of course I had to bring big luggage do not do that ever again. And so thank goodness Carmen was there. And as we were touring together, you know, she's been to New York, so she was able to really make the experience really nice for me. The people were amazing. They were very nice. I thought they were going to be really mean people, but no, they were very, very nice. So I loved it, and I can't wait to get back there.
Speaking as a New Yorker, I could speak like this. I'm going to say right now, the overall stigma and the overall projection of New York is all New Yorkers are rude and ayo, you know what I'm saying? That coffee talk. But no, again, as someone who grew up in the suburbs, but also has relatives who are in New York, Staten Island, will be here all day with the boroughs. And not everybody is mean. Everybody's very accommodating. Everybody can be very honest and blunt. But there's a lot of people when you go to the city, and a lot of people, again, everybody is in there for the same opportunity. They just want to continue to expand their horizons and really, you know, go onward and upward with their career and whatever endeavor they want to pursue. We're all at the end of the day here to get the same goal and obtain it. So, I mean, I can speak that as a New Yorker.
Definitely. And let me tell you, I think they beat everybody in regards to being in shape. I mean, I saw 70-year-olds like walking fast down the sidewalks. And I'm like, dang, I wish our 70 or, you know, as a physical therapist point of view, I'm like, damn, I really wish, you know, we had that more in California, because I was really impressed with actually how the older generation was getting around. It was impressive.
I'm going to say this right now, and I mean this in the utmost sincerity and respect and blunt way. New Yorkers don't fuck around, folks. And the reason why I say that, again, growing up in New York, where I grew up on Long Island, there was always like gyms around. There was like an MMA gym. There's a bodybuilding gym. There's stuff for wrestling. There was a lot of fitness around. So if you guys wanted to go to the gym or get your fitness on, there was like practically one almost on every corner. And there's a lot of retro fitnesses in New York. There's a lot of stuff that really encompasses the overall lifestyle of bodybuilding and getting the gym in and getting that rep. Thick dives save lives. I'll use every pun in the game, if you will, but there's a lot of gyms in New York.
Yes, and I loved it, because I actually was able to find a really nice gym, and it was walking distance. The weather just happened to be perfect in the 70s, and so I just had a ball. I just loved the whole experience. So yeah, I will definitely be back there.
That's one of the great parts about sessions too, as well, the traveling as well. And I know it can be a grind for a lot of people, but with you ladies doing your things with sessions and in general, like the travel's amazing, and you get to expand in a lot of cities and states and go across the world, and it works. You know, we got a lot of international talent coming here. You guys are doing your thing wherever. So, I mean, it's a back and forth, and it all coincides, and it's great fluidity and fruition for everyone.
Definitely. I definitely agree. And it's been a blast. I mean, I know that some of the ladies on Session Girls have been doing this for many years, and I can see why they're still continuing it. You know, it's addicting. It's nice to meet different people in different places, and yeah, I'm definitely hooked.
I'm going to say a lot of people are going to be hooked on and high on you, if you will, to quote Survivor. We are going to see a lot more of Susan K, the muscle milk, doing her thing in sessions wrestling. We're going to see her at Women's on Fire. Got to see at an LFC event in August. You're going to be making the rounds, man, and it's going to be great to see you and just watch you do your thing.
Oh my gosh, I think it's going to be a great summer. So I want everyone to be involved.
Folks, before we do close this out, Susan, like I said, this is your second time on the Shizzo. Got to have you back for round 3. I always love having you. You're always such a blast, and you're such a pleasure.
I love being on your show, so I appreciate you taking the time as well.
Of course. And folks, before we close this out, you have a plethora of social media, ma'am, from your Facebook, your Twitters, your Instagrams, your OnlyFans. Please promote so everyone can follow, and the links will be in the description below. Please go ahead.
Oh, you mean say them out loud?
Yeah, man. Where we can find you on social media.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to learn them a little bit more, don't I? So, you know what? Let me get the one that I want everyone to know. OnlyFans at Muscle MILF Susan K. Look for me there. You're going to have a lot of fun.
First of all, I don't mean to laugh, but don't apologize for that, because you would be surprised, folks, because every time we have guests on the Shizzo, a lot of people forget their social medias, or there's so many social medias out there, and I can attest. So, folks, the OnlyFans for Susan K will be in here, so I got your back.
go. You got me good there.
Got you, but no, that's how you have to look at it. And I mean, for those who've not checked out our OnlyFans, it's worth the subscription, and it's worth the content to view. So check out Susan on OnlyFans. Links will be in the description. So for guys, the new LFC site is lfcfights.com. You can follow it on Twitter at LFC_fights. Fights_LFC on Instagram, and we're on TikTok, LFC Fights. Links will be in the description for all of LFC, and you can check out more upcoming events for LFC. August looks to be the next date for the next LFC event. We have LFC 36 Booty Camp for the replay on LFCfights.com, and a lot of great content coming. And you can check out this show and many other shows on the LFC network on Roku. You got a Roku TV, bada bing, bada boom. Type in LFC network, download it. You get the LFC Exposed. You get the podcast. You get Wet, hosted by Audrey Monique and Terry Feisty Fitz London. You get Mods and Bods, hosted by Miles Long. It's a great time, and it's great content for Lingerie Fighting Championship viewers. And before we close this out, beauty, strength, and dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are, and the muscle MILF, muscles upon muscles upon muscles. I'm just going to keep saying it. I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Keep saying that. Thank you very much.
Fight, fight, fight! Gonna kick some